Let's get the next act on, ladies and gentlemen. He speaks German, more helpfully for this night. He speaks English as well. Please put your hands together for Matt Grindrod. Hello. Good evening, guys. How you doing tonight? You well? Give me a shout if you're well. Hey! Oh, good to hear, good to hear. Give me a shout if you're a student as well. Oh, that's good. I'm a student as well. I'm going into my second year, and I have to say, I'm glad to be back at uni and uni life, because there's always stuff going on at uni and stuff that wouldn't necessarily happen elsewhere. To illustrate this, tell you a bit about myself. I'm actually from Croydon. Anyone heard of Croydon? Yeah, a few people, that's good. I think Croydon tends to get quite a bad press in the media. Sometimes stuff gets blown out of proportion. Having said that, there was a kidnapping in Croydon recently. Anyone hear about this kidnapping in Croydon? He woke up. Kidnapping. Oh, no one ever gets that on the first listen. Never on the first time. But the reason I brought that up is there are parts of the country, maybe Croydon or other parts of London, where dangerous stuff happens, like drive-by shootings, for example, terrible things. One to me in Sheffield last year, a drive-by egging. Just walking along the road, it was about 11 o'clock at night, heard this car coming up behind me, and suddenly something just bounces off my hip like that. I looked down, turned around, there's an egg broken on the floor. So, at first glance, I've been quite lucky. Seems the egg just bounced off me without breaking. So, I carried on walking, but at the same time, I wanted to be sure there was no egg on me. So, every now and then, just put my hand on my hip, see if it came away without egg on it. And it did. I kept doing it, kept coming away clean. So, I got more and more relief. So, I started smiling to myself. It's like, oh, that was a really lucky escape. You know, this made me quite happy. Seeing people, I was just nodding at people. Yeah, it's a good night now, isn't it? Good night, yeah. Which I thought was all well and good, until I got home and I realised how weird this would have looked to anyone who hadn't seen the car or the egg. Because to them, it would look like I'm going, yeah, looking good, yeah, yeah, check that out, yeah, yeah, you know it's good, you know it's good. Oh, university's fun. Yeah, well, on that topic, I think it's worth saying, you know, when you're at uni, it's always good to just get out there, see what you can, do whatever you can, because there's good stuff out there. I was in Castleton recently with some friends. We were just in a pub, sitting around, drinking, ordered some food, and the guy came over and brought the food. He didn't bring us any ketchup, so I went to the bar to get some. Asked, excuse me, do you have any ketchup? He said yes, but then he left an unnecessarily long pause before he thought to ask the follow-up question, do you want any? Do you have any ketchup? Yeah. Do you want any? As if I was really going to go, no, just doing a survey, thank you, you've been most helpful. Across the road into the bakery, excuse me, do you sell bread? Yes, always good to know. I didn't waste my summer pointlessly inventorying things that clearly didn't need it. Actually, over my summer, I was actually working. Give me a shout if you were working over the summer at all. Okay, I actually work in a leisure centre. I'm a lifeguard. Give me a shout if you think lifeguarding's a fairly glamorous profession. It's like, well, there are a few of you, and for anyone who thinks that's true, I'd like to shatter those illusions with the following phrase. Matt, one of the kids has done a shit in the teaching pool. Can you get it out, please? Puts a bit of a crimp on your day, I can tell you. You really can't trust little kids when it comes to that sort of thing in swimming pools. In fact, I defy anyone here to honestly tell me that they haven't at one point or another weed in a swimming pool. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, that's one of the bad things about the job, but you know, there are plenty of good things about the job as well. The thing I like most is the people. You meet some nice people, but I like the crazy people. The people who just come with some great stuff, because they just talk and talk and talk without really realising what they're saying. My favourite is a guy called, let's call him Larry. He comes quite a lot, and he's apparently had every job under the sun. I'm going to give you an example of some of the jobs that he has apparently had. He has supposedly been a fitness instructor for Crystal Palace Football Club, head cleaner at Sainsbury's, a deaf interpreter, a chauffeur, football coach, gourmet chef, professional darts player, banker, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, masseuse, mechanic, inventor of the iPod, actuary, greenkeeper, dentist, published author, stuntman, teacher, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Chief Deputy Vice Joint Assistant Manager at Lidl. What can you say, really? It's great fun, really. So yeah, there are good parts of the job like that, and there are bad parts of the job, but if you're ever in a job like lifeguarding, there's occasionally moments where you actually have to step in and use the skills that you've been trained to use. And I'll give you an example of this. A few weeks ago, there was a little kid. He'd somehow ended up in water that was too deep for him. He was, he was in trouble. You could see on his face he was splashing around. And I saw this from my chair. I ran over to where this kid was. I should point out, at this point I was in quite a jovial mood. I think Larry had been a lion tamer or something that morning, so I was pretty cheerful. And I thought to myself, I saw this kid, I thought, when am I going to have another opportunity like this again? So I leant down. I said, you know what you are, mate? You're out of your depth. To be fair, I could have used in over your head as well, but I didn't want to wait for that one. Out of your depth. I should point out that last bit didn't actually happen. There was a kid in trouble, but I didn't stand at the side of the pool laughing at him and making bad jokes. I jumped in and saved him, because it's good to have a laugh, but I don't want you coming away from this thinking that I'm negligent, okay? I think I'm just about out of time now, so I'd like to say, thanks very much. You guys have been great. I've been Mac Friendrod, lifesaver. Thanks very much. Cheers.